Okay, we're back from break. The players are seated and ready to begin game 4 of the finals between Opeyemi Oloro and Wellington Jighere. Wellington up 2 games to 1. Conrad, I don't know what you asked me what the word was for the 5th bingo in a row, but whatever that word is, Wellington got it in game 3 of this series. Yikes.
Yeah, that last game was yeah. It was over pretty fast. I
Yeah.
think, Opeyemi's just got to kind of brush it off and just fight hard for the next two. He's still in
Yeah.
it.
As Scrabble players, it's pretty telling we don't have a word for what happened in that game, but it's just one game. So now we've got the players standing by to begin game 4. Board is looking pretty good. Players are looking good. I have to say they've got their nice jackets on. Do you think we need to sort of scale up our sartorial our game here in North America in terms of
I know I have very strong feelings about this that are different from the views in Nigeria. I
comfort?
won't even take a job where I have to dress nicely. I'm currently wearing sweat shorts.
That's
I wear
surprising.
sweat shorts to work, and that is very important to me to be able to dress very hipster, chill, and casually.
I mean, you look put together. I don't know. I mean, it's
I got a beer t-shirt on, man. Like
fair enough. Fair enough. So all right, we'll see what's happening. All right, Wellington's going first here, or did
no, it
we?
appears that Opeyemi is going to
Opie
go first very
Opeyemi going
quickly,
first. Okay. All right. Hold
playing
on.
Roji very fast.
Yeah, before we can even get the racks there, but that's okay. So let's just stick to this screen and hope that Wellington does his normal thing of playing with the board upside down. That's a normal thing for him. And I'll switch the timers here, and I think the racks are going to be correct as we now have that squared away. With Wellington has his designated rack enterer. So okay, there you see the rack that Opeyemi had. Looks pretty reasonable to play Roji, even though you don't love leaving the 3 vowels. Seems like a reasonable play.
Yeah, it's kind of just like you just deal with it, move on.
Yeah.
Not much you can do.
Sometimes it can be frustrating on those opening plays where you have a really rough play to make where you should play Roji and it just leaves 3 vowels and you don't want to do that. But you really need to make those plays quickly and just accept that, yeah, my best play here is doing some bad things for me, but I don't have any other options that are any better. So
Yeah.
nice play here of Kafta.
Yeah, I mean, I was also thinking maybe just cuff because it gives back a lot. Oh yeah, it looks like he's just done that.
And
That
he
just lowers the
has
average score by quite a bit.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to play on this board after. Oh, is he okay? So potentially going back to
I would play
Kafta.
KAF for sure. Not a
It's
doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, so the point of Kafta that's kind of scary is just giving up this huge easy play. It actually turns out that it's going to hugely benefit Wellington here because
Yeah.
Opeyemi has a terrible rack and has no way of doing anything to obstruct that spot in a meaningful way. So
Yeah.
Kafta for 35. Sorry, the scores. We got to get those back. So the score is now 35 to 22. And again, this is finals round 4. So I think everything on screen is now correct. The timers, the scores, the racks are getting updated. I think we're good. So a quick exchange, and then
And then you drew the X.
even
So
before the racks can be updated, you can see
what?
the X going down. It's not really changing the basic nature of this threat in this lane, though. There's still a 6-letter word there, and now there's even bigger potential if Opeyemi draws something good. This is a really scary spot, something with E-R-E-S. So we'll see what happens here. A lot hinging on this draw for Opeyemi as Opeyemi exchanging, and then Wellington bombing that X. So 85 points to 22. Oh, nice Z play there.
Yeah.
A shame that there's no play with Zax that reaches all the way. I don't think. Oh, there is Zelant, isn't there?
Yeah, Zelant was there. No,
Oh
played too
no.
fast.
Oh boy. If assuming that's the correct rack for Opeyemi, there is a 7-letter play here. This is a great play, 45 points, but
Six letter,
Zelant
six letter play,
six.
but
Sorry, yep.
a much
Yes.
better play.
Yes. So 67 points for this play here. A little
It's
bit
also,
of a miss.
but if you think about it, it's also possible that Opeyemi is psychic and knew that he would have given his opponent Egyptian had he played Zeland. So in this case, it's going to work out very well for him.
That's a thing, right? Like in Scrabble, there's a lot of like when you're making the quote unquote best play in Scrabble, there are many, many times when the best play works out much worse for you than an inferior play that does something different. That's kind of maddening, but at the same time, it adds this element of craziness and randomness to the game. That's kind of fun if you're a chaotic person or you like chaos. So yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about chaos? You're a top Scrabble player. How I feel.
I mean, it's tempting to say that I wish there was more order to it, and I wish all my good plays were rewarded by better outcomes every time. But I actually do kind of like the chaos because ultimately, when you go up the ladder all the way, right? We have somebody in Scrabble that's really, really, really good at Scrabble. His name is Nigel Richards, and he is definitely the best, most precise player. And if we didn't have a little chaos in the game, that would be a struggle for the rest of us. So I'm kind of grateful to the chaos. And it doesn't seem like Nigel much cares one way or another, so I guess it's a good thing. But I sense that you're feeling differently as we see Opeyemi play a Bode. That looks like a pretty good play.
I was more just wondering if he wanted to just play Bode. I wasn't thinking similarly or differently. I just wanted to consider Bode as a parallel instead of opening so early in a place where you could play down parallel to a Bode and block it.
That's a really good point. So basically, as Wellington plays by far his best play here, leaving PE. That's the only Bavan here. That's a great play to get all that clunk off the rack at once. But yeah, going back to what Conrad was saying prior to this play. Oh, whoops, no, hold on. This isn't the board. We had Bode here, and then we had Bavan on the board. All right, so on the previous play for Opeyemi, Conrad suggesting that just Bode looking like a good play. Oh, is there a challenge of this word? Why are the players getting up, I wonder? But
reasonable word challenge.
Yeah, it's a weird looking word for sure. But Conrad suggesting Bode is a little bit safer rather than just opening all these really nice letters to play eights to, and I frankly agree with that. So So anyway, nicely played by Wellington. The score now is 155 to 100. And again, the scenario here, Wellington just needing one more win to clinch this best of 5 finals and to be crowned the MGI Grand Slam champion.
I think there's a bingo here for Opeyemi, though.
There is. That's true. And it does play. And oh boy, it's the eternal debate of how to say this word. Are you, well, actually,
I know how I pronounce it. How do you pronounce it?
Well,
I think we're on opposite sides here, right?
I don't have to worry about it because hopefully he'll just play Gloriole, won't he? But I would imagine it to be GIF here.
We are on the same team. Okay, I pronounce it GIF as well.
Yeah, GIF would go here, and the 7-letter word on the rack for Opeyemi, Girole, or however.
I didn't know it was a chanterelle, which is actually the kind of mushroom that made me start enjoying the taste of mushrooms, as it turned out. It was one of the last foods I started to like.
So, all right, he's placing a word on the board. Oh boy, a miss. Okay, so 2 bingos appear to have been missed there by Opeyemi. That's huge because he really, really needed that, trailing by 55 prior to his play. He had a bingo, actually 2 of them available, and he misses them both.
And I think there's now a bingo for Welly, which I can't imagine he will miss.
There are several bingos here, and he is extremely likely to hammer this spot to the E. And frankly, we were just talking about making better plays and directly benefiting from those plays. The corollary of that, or the inverse of that, is making slightly inferior plays and paying the price for them when you deserve to. Opeyemi opening up an E on the board, and you can see how damaging it is that he did that. He's about to give up an 101 point bingo to Wellington, which frankly feels like it was pretty avoidable.
Yeah. I mean, bingo probably still would have come down, but like
for 101,
still.
yeah, for
Yeah.
101, maybe not so much. So
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, that's a big swing. Opeyemi missing his bingos and Wellington hammering his for 101 points. And you can see it is getting to be crunch time here for Opeyemi. If he is going to come back in this game, he needs to play well, draw well, and hope for the best.
Play well, draw better.
True. Alex says the cookie is doing some severe crumbling. Absolutely true. And
wow, now he's just slamming down Grig really fast.
Grig,
setting up his cue that he doesn't have.
True.
But maybe he'll bait Wellington into blocking.
Yeah.
And maybe opening a double lane. I don't know.
It's a curious play. I'm not sure what I would do. I guess Loggier through the O.
Loggier seemed sad. But,
boy. Check this out, though. Wellington drawing the first blank and is pretty likely.
Camel.
So, Discamel is the silly play Conrad's suggesting would play down to this L. But, of course, there's definitely stuff that will fit somewhere or other. Certainly through this O, there's going to be stuff that Wellington is not likely to let get past him here, like co-admits or monacids. But he is finding what I believe to be at least the highest scoring play, if not the best play, of Claydism for 85.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good. That Q is still a threat in this spot. You can easily see QUI plays going across here. But Claydism looks good, and Wellington is now up absolutely massively in this must-win, not must-win, in fact, the opposite of must-win. Must-win for Opeyemi. Wellington is up huge.
Yeah. There's not much to say. I don't think that this game has to be as far away
as lopsided.
Yeah.
I mean, is this sort of what informs, like, in general, your Scrabble worldview, Conrad, of like when you just kind of play free and easy and make plays like a boat and open up the board, things like this happen. The game gets away from you when it doesn't have to, right? Like this sort of thing, I feel like, is the exact thing that you hate and seek to avoid at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, there's just no reason, really.
So Ute, the play for Opeyemi, he's down, 190 points here. He's setting up his S. Again, that's not Wellington's current rack. That was his previous rack, so we'll have to see in a moment what he has here. Okay, not so good. So maybe ever so slightly. Oh, is he? Oh, wow, he's playing Ucane. At this score, I don't know. I get the rationale behind that, but there is a significantly safer play available to him here. He could just play this, right? He could play this A&E for 28 points, opening nothing. It's partially blocking the S hook that was just created instead of he's picked it up. Okay, this is very classic Welly.
Yeah. But interestingly, Q pickup here for Opeyemi, so he'll at least get to play, say, QI for 31 and then keep ELRST blank. So still likely no chance to win, but
who knows? I mean, we've seen. Oh, okay. Here we're about to see the play that we think is best. Wellington. Yeah. I would have been stunned if Wellington played Ucane in this situation. He's looked at it. He said, "Nah, I don't think this is worth the risk."
Yeah, doing it for the fans.
He's doing the classic Wellington pickup. That's his special move. So he's showing us, a little flair in this game, and he's going to go up by over 200 again. So this is looking like it could be the clincher here. Yeah. Frankly, I don't know what Welly's win rate is here, or win chances are here, but I think they're quite high. Do you think, Conrad, do you think there's any merit? I feel like this could be, Alex suggests in the chat, something that I was thinking might be worth doing just because Opeyemi needs to get maximally lucky and score as many points as he can on every turn from here on out. I kind of like him playing Quilt, burning the blank here and setting up another S hook for himself.
So I saw it, but I'd also rather leave that double lane open.
True.
Like, you want to leave two clearly open spots of the board.
So you're imagining then that he should plop the Q down here, which he does do. Yeah, which he does do. Yeah. So maybe what you need is boom, boom on subsequent turns. Sorry for my bad drawing. And nullas, I should say, for Wellington seems like a very reasonable play. So let me get the scores in here. The Q for Opeyemi.
We know his 7th tile. He kept AU, right?
Yeah. Okay. There it is. Nullias. So this seems like a reasonable time to. Basically, I'm sure that Wellington is just as aware as Opeyemi is of how am I going to possibly lose this game. Almost certainly a 1-2 punch down here and then here. So by blocking off the S-hook now, Wellington has sort of prevented that worst-case scenario, as we're going to see probably wrestled, if I had to guess.
Yep. Shout out to Lester.
Why is that? Oh, Lester Blank. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was going to literally about to say, was Lester a wrestling fan?
No, just Lester Blank.
Yes, and, I gotcha.
Yeah, and in a couple weeks, we'll come up on that very important day, November 10th, his birthday, my birthday, and trivia question for you, who in the chat's birthday?
Somebody in the chat shares your birthday. Oh, my gosh.
My birthday, Lester's birthday, Chris Wiegand's birthday, Joe Gaspard's birthday.
Geez, I don't know. He might
1 year younger than me, I believe. Not to completely dox them.
And they're in the chat too, huh?
They're in the chat.
I don't know. You might have to just tell me.
Well, I'm not gonna dox them.
Oh, okay. Well, if they want to reveal themselves in the chat, they can. Okay. Gotcha. So this is an interesting play, Sir Car. So this to me is a much more classically Welly play. So the point here is that you are blocking off much of the board here. You're putting a C out in space. You can't play here. And you even block plays to the S that might put good letters up here. The C blocks all of that at once. Like, there were other options for Welly here, but this is a more classically points and leave based play, but why put a letter in this spot when you don't need to? When all you got to do is prevent your opponent from bingoing a bunch of times to win the game, as we see Foy go down for Opeyemi.
Surcar is one of those plays that just makes you so happy. It's just like, oh, it's doing all the things that I want.
Everything, yeah. It just blocks a lot, scores okay, gets some of those vowels off that are duplicated. So I didn't notice, did Wellington exchange tiles here? Oh, he played Evo.
He played Evo.
Yeah, definitely worth doing, even though it leaves kind of a weird 2 eyes leave. It scored 31 points, which is shockingly high for a rack that was so vowel heavy. So scores now are still way out of reach here.
I mean, Wellington is ready to shout Evo. Like, he's getting so close to winning.
That's right. That's one of the cries of Bacchic Frenzy.
It is, yeah. And nothing screams Bacchic Frenzy like winning a million.
Like vowels, apparently.
Yeah.
So, continuing on, Dame, it really does feel like both players are pretty well aware at this point of where this game is headed. This is a play, actually, that Opeyemi, look at the time on the clocks. This is a play that Opeyemi made with 2 tiles in the bag, right? There's no point, I guess, at this late stage in the game. You're not bingoing twice. You're cutting the lead to still something that's well over 100. And again, the players are playing lightning fast.
Yeah.
The whole game
may have like a dinner reservation to get to or something. He's played so fast.
We said that yesterday too, that maybe they're looking, but it's not dinner time in Nigeria yet. It's just the afternoon, so it would be too early to be catching a res.
That's fair, yeah.
But all right, let's see. We're seeing Cadiz be played here. Seems fine. It looks like there's an out at least of Poi Lu as well through the L of Lob. Maybe something else I'm not seeing. So this looks like a reasonable choice. It also blocks the W spot.
Puri.
Oh, I thought he had... Oh, never mind. He just has... What is left on his rack here? Puri?
Oh, did I make that up? Is it too early for me?
Oh,
I made up a phony.
Oh, okay.
It's too early for me.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's. I think he. Yeah, I thought he just had the one out. And I guess that's
You're
true.
right.
Not that it really doesn't matter much at all. Of course, Wellington is right on the cusp of clinching here. And it looks like the final score, and it feels a little anticlimactic. I was kind of hoping for a game that felt a little more, touch and go for most of the game. But really, that miss in the early going here, looks like a handshake there. The miss in the early going of, I guess we were also thinking that Bode here over a Bode that was played that really ended up hurting Opeyemi. As you can see, it was hit so hard, 100 points. But also worth noting, in addition to that, for Opeyemi, it would have been a very different game if he had managed to bingo on this turn instead of playing lob for only 15 points. And then it took him so long to get another bingo after this. He plays Grig, Ute, Chi before finally bingoing when he had a chance to do so 4 turns prior. So tough one for Opeyemi for sure. Very well played to Wellington. No surprise. The champ adding another trophy to his case. I don't know. What can we say, Conrad? It's fun to watch Wellington play. And really not too surprising that it certainly looked like things were grim for him going into today, and at the middle of day 2, he wasn't really in the thick of it, but he won 6 of his last 7 to make the finals, and here he is now.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of like expect that you can't really count someone like him out until literally he has no chance. So not terribly surprised to wake up this morning and see that this has happened, but props to him for fighting through.
He's done.
Big congrats. Good payday.
In fact, big congrats. And not only that, I have my little screen here ready. I had both players ready for this. I have my little congratulations screen. I wish I had confetti or something. Actually, I probably could go get some kind of fireworks to display on this screen, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to say congratulations, amazing performance, of course, to Wellington Jighere. He manages to come out of nowhere, I guess not really knowing his pedigree and track record, to make the finals and win 3-1 over Opeyemi Oloro. So I think looks like the players have vacated the area. I know everybody else, I'm sure they're getting their well-deserved accolades from the rest of the competitors in the event. I don't think we have any plans to do award ceremony streaming or anything like that. So I think that's going to do it. Man, it's been a long road. I really appreciate, Conrad, you joining me to commentate on the finals. Always a pleasure, and we'll have to do more of this. I don't know. Any thoughts before we potentially sign off and conclude the MGI Grand Slam 2022?
All I can say is I'd love to start attending events like this in the future. I want to know what it'll take to maybe get some of us there in the future. I think it would be so much fun to compete against all these folks who, we maybe get to see once or twice a year when we cross paths in, say, Asia, or maybe another national level tournament. But bringing it back to you for a sec, tell us, like, when are you going to start streaming again? That's what the crowd here wants to know.
They want more. They want cats. They want
not
rage.
Just cats, but also...
So I'm pleased to say that my big project of the last few months has been sort of getting my streaming set up into a little bit of a next level. I have a lot of sort of stuff that it's really like a man cave here now. So the sound is not leaking anywhere in the rest of the house. I can come up here and stream at any time and not worry. So definitely more streams to come in the very near future on my personal channel. at twitch.tv/wanderer15. There's no need to self-promo myself too hard here. But yeah, definitely, if you're wanting more of me, you can head over to my channels and give me a follow. But really don't want to take too much focus off of MGI here. Incredible job behind the scenes to Lukman Owolabi, who is absolutely tireless, basically organizing both the tournament and the live stream with a team of really able helpers as well. Want to shout that out as well. But tremendous, definitely an organization well worth everybody's support, MGI. And again, just want to say, you know, as you said, Conrad, Nigerian Scrabble is an incredible scene right now. Amazing talent, tons of really fun players to watch. It is always a pleasure to be involved with Scrabble in that part of the world. So, so with that, I think that's going to do it. Congratulations once again to Wellington Jighere. Commiserations to Opeyemi Oloro for losing the finals, but for coming in first in the main event is an incredible accomplishment. And thank you to all the viewers who kept me company in the wee hours of my early morning. To Austin Shin as well, who was doing commentary with me, not just in earlier today, but also yesterday. Thanks once again to you, Conrad, and I think that's going to do it. So take care, everybody. It was a lot of fun, and until we see you guys again with more content on the official Scrabble channel. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.